Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weisheit, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very, very much. And you know, it's one of those things where we always like to find out some of the good things happening in our community. It's always nice when we have some of those people who are dedicated to serve in our community and they get accreditation and rewards for those things. Very glad to welcome back to the program Captain Brendan Mathern, the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. Captain Brendan, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Keith, how's it going, man?
Doing very well, my friend. So very many good things happening over at the Sheriff's Office. Let's talk a little bit about these three accreditations that y'all received.
Yeah, some good news for a change, thankfully, instead of all the crimes and arrests,
Right.
which are obviously important in what we do in law enforcement. But anytime that we receive some type of recognition or honor, it's definitely something we want to let folks know, mainly because we're so dedicated to maintaining the highest level of professional standards and performance at the Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Weber always says that Lafourche Parish has some of the finest citizens in the world, and we believe they deserve the finest level of law enforcement as well. So with that, we are happy to announce in yesterday that, or this morning rather, that we ultimately have been reaccredited by the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies. We commonly refer to that as CALEA. And you see the picture here that was taken on March 23rd during the CALEA conference. And you see Chief Deputy Roy Groh, along with Captain Jessica Davis and Deputy Valerie Brown of our training academy. Captain Davis in the center has been heading up our accreditation over the last several months. And she was happy to hear that we were reaccredited. So 3 accreditations here. One is the one we've had as an agency since the year 2000, and that is the agency accreditation for law enforcement. We have to meet over 460 standards are involved in making sure that we are implementing the best practices and standards and policies throughout the country. And should be noted, Keith, that it's not just about making sure that we have this policy on paper. Anybody can make a policy. What CALEA does is make sure that you're enforcing that policy, that policy is in practice, and kind of that thought process is woven into any and everything that you are doing in your performance of your duties. So again, it's basically, in this day and age, it's a way of self-policing the police. It's a way of making sure and holding ourselves accountable. So in addition to the agency being accredited, in the last time that we had accreditation, we were able to get our training academy and our communication sections accredited as well. Those offer separate accreditations. They were initially under the umbrella of law enforcement accreditation, under the huge umbrella, and still do fall under that. But you can apply for a separate accreditation for those two things. Now, Training Academy, I'm sure everybody understands what that is, our academy where we train cadets from all over the state, including locally, the Sheriff's Office, all of our municipalities, and even sometimes from Houma and Terrebonne. But the communication section is essentially our what's commonly known as our dispatchers. Those are the ones that handle the incoming calls for service and ultimately dispatch deputies to a call for service. So to have all of those reaccreditations back in means that we are living up to the best practices and standards, proven policies from throughout the country here at the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office.
Very, very exciting. And with that, with all of the things that are going on, you've got some officers that have been honored with this Heart of Law Enforcement Award. It says y'all are doing it on the front end through the office and on the back end as well.
That's correct. The policies and procedures with CALEA are showing that in the normal course of our duties that we are implementing those best practices. these Heart of Law Enforcement awards show that even when they are not, doing something sort of by the book, when they're sort of going off either on their own or on their free time, that they're still exceeding all levels of expectations for law enforcement officers. And in this case, the three individuals that you just saw, Major LaFayette Day, Deputy Michael Jenkins, and Deputy Erica Plazos, were presented with the Heart of Law Enforcement Awards at a recent ceremony in Baton Rouge, put on by Beyond the Badge organization, which has recognized people in the past. We've actually had two of our officers recognized before, Major Cottrell Davis, our warden at the Lafourche Parish Correctional Complex, and Lieutenant Nikki Frank, as well, who works with the COPS program, that community-oriented policing. Both have been recognized for their community service in the past. In this particular case, Major LaFayette Day was involved we found out about a family that had been still living after a year and a half. They were still living in a makeshift shelter made out of tarps and cardboard boxes and things of that nature. And after learning about that, he ended up donating a used camper to the family. In addition, he teamed up with Bless Your Heart, which we often team up with to help out the community, and made sure that they had a wheelchair access ramp constructed for that camper. And that was all, again, done out of the kindness of his heart. Deputy Jenkins and Plazos were actually on a call for service. We had a 911 call, believe it or not, from a toddler's older brother who was distraught because he had not bought his 2-year-old brother a birthday present. Called 911, and of course, our dispatcher ultimately took it as a learning opportunity to educate him on 911 use. But Deputies Plazos and Jenkins responded to the call, got him a Paw Patrol toy, and went to the party. They were the life of the party, presented the toy, and couldn't have been happier. The family was ecstatic. So again, going well above and beyond the call of service.
Well, you guys often do that. Great citizens and great for us in the community through what you guys do. Thank you so much, Captain Brennan. We appreciate it and everything y'all do. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And that'll do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. We've got a whole lot more when we come back.